Hello everyone and welcome back to the Tableau course from Analytics U here at Consumers Energy. So hopefully you've already seen the first video in our series which covered how to navigate the Tableau server. We learned the difference between worksheets, workbooks, and dashboards, and we also kind of had a general idea of what Tableau is, what it's used for, and the grouping of the users into content developers and content viewers. Today, our objectives are to learn how to navigate a previously created workbook, use filters on that workbook to change visualizations to better suit our data analytics needs, use visualizations to highlight specific information in a graph, be able to save a view that we prefer for later use, and finally, if you would like more information on how to view previously created workbooks, I suggest that you look at the Tableau website. The link is provided in this document, which you can find at our SharePoint, Analytics U. So let's get started. I'm going to look at, I'm going to start in the training project. So again, if you come to this splash page here, we are looking at the training project. It's where we will be doing most of our work. We are looking at workbook example. Click view, and I'm just going to start on the first view or the first sheet, and it's going to open up the entire workbook. I can see here at the top all of the tabs represent the different views and different sheets in this workbook. So quickly getting an idea of what is in this workbook, we see that there's a page for summary stats. It shows, looks like a dollar amount for sales, a dollar amount for profit, a profit ratio, quantity, a discount percent. It shows a nifty graph that is profit by state. We can see that the creator has used a filter. This is called a filter here on the side. It can be used to highlight just specific information that we want. So by selecting maybe just central and hitting apply, we are now just looking at the states that this business decided to put in the central region. I'm going to go back and select all. Next, we can look at profit trends by segment. So this is a nice line graph. We have months throughout numerous years, and we have what looks like a, at the top here it tells us consumer segment, a corporate segment, and a home office segment. This is sales by those same segments and months. We have a scatter plot of sale quantity versus versus discount by these three segments as well. And finally, and the most important part that we're going to be working with today, is a dashboard. This last tab is a dashboard. We can see on this dashboard some of the worksheets that we've previously opened, but the nice thing about a dashboard is each visualization should hopefully work together as a tool to help us analyze data and do better at our jobs. So let's zoom in the country a little bit here. If I hit home, then it centers me on all of the regions I'm highlighting. So here at the top we have our summary statistics. We have our map from the previous tab, and we have our two trend lines. So now we're going to talk about filters. In this particular dashboard, we have two filters. We have region filter and a segment filter. So we can filter this by our region. So say if I am the central regional manager, I can deselect all of the other regions and just select mine. And what you'll notice is when I do this, the numbers in the top here at the summary statistics and the graphs down below will change. So let's go ahead and select central, hit apply, and we can see the numbers have changed to reflect just the central region. The graphs are different, that reflects just the central region. And so that's a pretty good tool for helping someone who is maybe in charge of the central region just look at data that applies to them. However, when everything is selected, this tool can be used not just by the regional manager, but by all of the other managers or whoever's in charge of other parts of the country, maybe an individual state. And this map has also been set up so where if we select one particular state, let's select Michigan, all of the other graphs change as well. So our summary statistics for just this state has changed, and we can change back, and now we can see the whole country again. So now if I am in charge of just Michigan, I can use this tool, this dashboard, to help me with my analysis of the data. Next, we're going to look at the segment filter. It has consumer, corporate, and home office. So this company has decided to segment their sales into one of these three divisions, and we can, if I'm in charge of, say, corporate sales, I can select just corporate, and you'll notice that all of the other graphs change as well. So now this dashboard displays just Michigan's data in the corporate segment. And so that's, you know, a pretty nifty thing to use if I'm in charge of, say, corporate sales in Michigan. So this whole dashboard can be used by a whole range of people with many different jobs, so that's very useful, and I can make it look just the way that I want to make it look when I go to analyze my data. And we can see that the same thing is true if I choose any state. I can look at what's going on in each state, and if I have a view that's particularly useful for me, so if I am in charge of corporate sales in Michigan, I can leave it just like this, and then I can save this as a view. So if we look at the top toolbar here, we have a view that says original. If we click on this tab, it brings up this custom views pop-up box. I can name my view, so I can say corporate sales Michigan. I can even say make it my default. I can choose make it public so that anyone who comes after me could use this view if they want to. I'm not going to. I'm going to save. So now when I close this workbook and I reopen it, it should come right back to this particular view. So let's try that out. I'll open the dashboard, and there it is. Instead of going back to the original, it comes to the saved view that I have because I set it as my default. Now I can always revert back to the original by clicking on that Views tab and selecting Original. And this is the view that the creator of the document, the creator of the workbook, intended us to see when we started. So this has been a brief overview of how we can navigate a previously created workbook, how we can use the visualizations and the filters to make the workbook look exactly how we want it to look to aid in our data analysis. And we have learned how to save a view for our later use, even with the ability to save it as our default view. So I hope that you enjoyed that video and that you learned something. I hope that you join us for video 3, where we will be learning how to create a new workbook and create data tables in our custom workbook.